If you ever had a girl that you tried to date, something, and she wanted you to wait, that's basically how the game went on Tuesday. The first half was all well and good. Dinner was fantastic. The movie after dinner was great. You're holding hands. And then nothing happens. Second half rolls around, and that's where she finally gives in. And your boyfriend and girlfriend, your husband and wife, you get a little hanky-panky going, whatever the case may be. First half was squeaky bum time. Second half finally opened them up. Got going. It's also transfer deadline day. There are a few things to talk about. Not much, but that in itself could be a talking point. I've got Ryan and Glenn loaded up and ready to blast off. Let's get to it. How's it? Welcome into another episode of Loose Cannons. Hello, boys. Miss me? I would be remiss, by the way, real quick, if I did not start the program off. And I think Ryan will agree with this as well. Glenn.
What?
Thank you very much for the amazing gift. It is fantastic. I was a little worried when I saw the size. I thought I was basically going to swim in it. Or I could potentially carry around a midget inside with me. But it actually fits quite nicely, and I'm not that fat. It's just it probably runs a little small. But seriously, thank you. You didn't need to do that, but I certainly do appreciate it. And I have worn it, I believe, every day, actually, since I've gotten it. It's been the perfect weather here to wear that jacket. It's fantastic. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It caught my eye, but I had to get you both the same thing because God forbid one liked what the other got. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, if we did, Glenn, we wouldn't tell you.
You know what we would do? We would just say, "Hey, I'll send you mine. You send me yours."
I would have done the same thing. So yeah, cool.
And I mean the gift, not.
Yes, I know, but just a final thought on that. I looked for about 10 minutes, and when I saw them, like, oh, if I want that, they're gonna love it.
I mean, it's kind of hard to not catch your eye.
Yeah,
considering how bright the damn thing is. And seriously, I even said this to Ryan. It's perfect, especially at night when I walk the dogs, because I actually have a high vis, almost like a construction worker vest. I got it from an engineer buddy of mine. He was like, "Hey, here, take this when you're outside walking the dogs at night. It's kind of dark. It's perfect for that."
One of you guys has to hold it up before the show is over so people know what we're talking about. It's baby blue warm-up jacket. It's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, I'll run downstairs and get it at some point here.
But go ahead. You
when Ryan is giving a dissertation on world peace, I'll run downstairs and get it. Anyway, how are we, boys? All good, Ryan?
Yeah, good.
Better than you.
My wife's working in the city today, so I've had a wonderful day today. That's why I'm in my little YouTube place here. See, this is usually her place. Jelly bellies, fig bars, women's unmentionables. Yeah.
Those look like pills.
Oh, they're just vitamins.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was a long. Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah. Ryan. All good?
Yeah, we're good. What?
All right. First half thoughts. We'll start there. Well, let's start with this. First of all, ESR gets the start. Glenn, I'm going to start with you because I have a feeling Ryan may have
Ryan's
a little bit more to say than you on it.
Well, plus, it's Ryan's favorite player, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan. I was ecstatic he was starting. And I'm ecstatic he had a good game, too. That's a pretty simple answer right there. Ryan, I know you're dying to talk about it. He's your boy.
And I think Ryan and I are going to have a lot to say on this because we were talking during the game about it. And we don't disagree, which for the sake of entertainment value, it kind of stinks that we don't disagree. But no, we don't disagree at all. Ryan, ESR starting.
Oh, let me also add, I would like to see him start against Liverpool. That's it. Now I'm done.
I concur.
Interesting. I think to me, the biggest aha moment. There's two big aha moments. One was the speed in which he plays at and the speed he wants to play at, and B, I think bringing on Kai Havertz, 60, 70 minutes, I think transformed us and gave them something else to think about and really helped us out. And I think that would be something great that we could do against Liverpool. Do I want him to start against Liverpool? It's tough. It's tough. Because my biggest concern is the gears in which we play. That's something that I was like keeping track of this entire game. Is a lot of the players or the players themselves all were in different gears, which is why I think we struggled to score in the first half. Despite what Peter Gunnar says, I think we dominated them. I think we were just, we were trying to lull them to sleep. We were slowly stabbing them in the stomach with paper clips, trying to kill them, which isn't really the best way to go about things, but we've been doing that. So, but yeah, no, I as far as ESR is concerned, the pace at which he played, how he got the ball, he knew what he wanted to do with it. He immediately ran into another spot in the field. He wanted to turn us up a notch. My issue with that was the players and the other players did not want to turn up a notch, which I think that's a Mikel thing. So I don't know how I feel about that. The only player that really kind of matched his I don't know the right word I want to say is explosiveness, ferocity, it would be Saka. I think Saka also had a very good game. Honestly, I know a lot of people are saying Gabriel Jesus for man of the match. I'd actually go Saka as my man of the
match. So, all right. I'll take umbrance a little bit with your.
It doesn't match your hat at all.
After you,
it doesn't match.
After you go, BG, I would like to chime in also.
Okay. Did you see what I did though, Glenn?
No. What'd you do?
Well, if you would look at your screen.
Fuck! I wasn't even. Look what I got them, everybody. I got them each the same one. It's fucking sweet. I have one really too. I bought 3 of them.
Aw, we can match.
Never.
Yeah, right. We're gonna do this. You guys are gonna come back to Pittsburgh at some point.
Wait, it's a full sip? I don't know why I thought it was a half sip. I thought it was
anyway.
A half sip.
You were going to talk about ESR and Havertz.
Yes, we dominated them. That's not. You're going to start this already with me. The ESR.
I was telling you what was.
The ESR thing. I agree 100% with everything Ryan said about ESR being in a different gear. Other players not being at that level, not being in his gear, but also not being in the same gear as anybody else. Everybody seemed to be at their own speed. I agree with is it a Mikel Arteta thing that is that what he wants? Does he want that really slow, methodical, like Ryan said, lull them to sleep? I don't know. I will tell you this. It is awful to watch. That first half was terrible to watch for me. Now, if you value possession, which, okay, it's not to say that I don't value possession, but I put out a tweet. Nobody commented on this one. I put out a tweet that said, I'm still learning the game. If anybody can tell me how many points we get in the table for 81% possession, do we get an extra point if we reach 90% possession? And like, are there extra points for shots attempted, for touches in the opponent's box, for exceeding 500 passes? I don't really know how all that works. What I do know is that goals win games. And you
sound sarcastic in that tweet, but when you word that tweet, I'm like, you sound like the person that would say, like you sound like you. Oh, I like watching soccer while drinking a beer at a bar. And hanging out. It sounded it was a very American tweet.
Wait, I'm supposed to get to go after he's done.
Well, yeah, and it was supposed to be that sarcastic, it's for all of the people who like to say, but we dominated possession. That's great. We dominated possession against West Ham and lost.
Why?
Lost.
I would go as far as say we
dominated.
Possession's a number. We dominated, period.
Possession,
yeah, you could say that. Yeah,
you dominate, and you lose.
We didn't lose.
Now, I can't remember who it was. Someone in the comments, it had to have been a month ago. Someone in the comments said that this isn't a scoring goals problem; it's a defense problem. That we can't keep the ball out of our own net. And I'm like, huh? I for the life of me, I can't remember who it was. Might have been Dempsek. Anyway, it's like you get hit once, and now what do you do? The thing is, it all of the possession is great, but I also said that, and this is tongue in cheek, a little bit, but I said Nottingham Forest were the better team in the first half. And everybody's like, you're crazy. I don't know how you see that. Well, let me put it this way. What did they want to do? And were they doing it well? They wanted to sit in a low block and stop us from scoring. They did that to a T. Now, are we the better team? We're the more talented team. We're obviously better based on standing in the table. But what they did in the first half, and again, it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but they did exactly what they wanted to do. We couldn't figure it out. And this is a problem. So 3 points is great. Let's go. 3 points is great. But we've got to figure this out because we're going to play more teams who are going to do that to us than not. The teams that aren't going to do that to us are going to be Liverpool on Sunday. They're going to come at us. City when we go there. United when we go there. And the shitbags
United
when we
are
go
going to do that.
United
love the
that's true. United might be the exception. But the other idiots up the road in North London are definitely going to do it. So they did it in our barn back in September. They came at us and everybody's like, "No, they're going to sit back. There's no way they can't play with us," and they absolutely did. The goals self-inflicted wounds on our part, but they played with us. I was there. I watched the whole time. They played with us. So we've got to figure out this breaking down of the low block. And it is amazing. It is amazing. 2 games, 2 counters, 4 goals. Glad you're chomping at the bit, go.
Okay. First of all,
I can tell when you're getting antsy because you start.
I can't help it. I'll learn to mute myself so that you don't hear the
Yeah.
So I will mute myself from now on when you guys do that.
All right,
first of all, what you guys were saying was all about my notes in the first, hour of the game. It really was. Everything that you guys were saying, I was fucking writing down. Sick of this shit. So long between games and this game fucking hurts. What the fuck? Why can't we break this low block? Okay, so I was frustrated like you guys, but after I calmed down, I decided to look at some breakdowns of the game. All right. I don't know what the stat that Forest were in the lowest block you could be in. I don't know what the name of this stat is, but I'll describe it to you. We averaged 40-something passes before they even tried to stop us from passing. That's a ridiculously high number. And the other thing is they were in such a low block and only one person that I watched noticed this. There might have been more. If you noticed it besides this person, I apologize, but I only heard it from Graham of AFTV, Graham Brooks on X. So at halftime with Nottingham Forest in this insanely low block, Arteta had each player move back 10 yards so that Forest would be invited to come out and spread that fucking low block apart. And that's when we scored. So, yes, I understand what you guys are saying. But in my research, watching people break down this game and that thing that only Graham saw where we sent everybody back 10 yards. And that opened it up for our first goal. And once we have the first goal, boom, 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 switch, because they have to come forward. So, yeah, it fucking sucked in the first half. But our manager, who we hear all these silly rumors about, thank God he said it was false news about Barcelona or wherever the fuck he was going. Our manager figured it out at halftime. And I encourage everybody who's mad at Arteta to look that up, because that's exactly what happened. And once
I mean, to be fair, our first goal was because they fell asleep for our throw-in.
Oh.
They didn't mark up. Jesus got the ball. He let the ball do the work, and Turner made a mistake. I don't really.
I don't know how he doesn't say, like, my oldest dog with arthritis in her hips, her lower back, her knees, like, she could have stopped that. No,
wait. Because you guys both argued, maybe not you, BG. I know, Ryan, you wanted to keep Matt Turner. And I said, I don't want no MLS goalie as our backup if number one gets hurt.
But he's their starter, and they're already trying to get someone else.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I just hope we're done talking about Matt Turner now.
But
I mean,
Ramsdale hasn't seen a light of day because of what? A game that Raya couldn't play because he's on loan, and then what? I think he played another game. Like
he played the last Champions League group stage.
Yeah, game didn't mean anything. Like backup keepers don't mean anything. So get this. I hate this. Like I wanted to keep Turner because we didn't need to spend money on another goalie. I still think that, but whatever, we did. I think Turner thought he was going to pass the ball. I think he thought Jesus didn't have an angle to shoot that ball, but he did.
He did.
I didn't think he had an angle to shoot the ball either. And he put it close near post, and that's definitely his fault. Don't get me wrong, but he Turner made a decision. It was the wrong one, but I mean, it's just whatever. We scored. I'm all about it. I don't really know if it was really against throwing a player or a counterattack, but as to what Graham said,
the first goal, the Jesus goal, I wouldn't say it was on the counter.
No, it wasn't. It was throwing. They literally let Jesus get the ball in the 18. Like it was wild. Was wild. They were just like, oh, okay, cool. And Turner's like, what the fuck, guys? And then he had to make a decision. Do I try to block the pass or block the shot? And he tried to do both, but he left just enough space for Jesus to slot it home. So, I mean, power to Jesus. He's someone that's came under siege by us, and I'm sure by everybody else. Not scoring goals, and I mean that was a great take. It was a great goal, and power to him. He also got the assist on our second goal. So,
well, even you and I
good
were
to
talking,
see R9 do things like that.
You and I were talking during the game, like, I sub him off. Let's go. Like, let's bring Havertz on.
I think I tweeted it too, but I didn't. I tweeted that I was gonna tweet to sub him off. I wanted to sub him off at halftime. I just think what ESR wants to do, and I did focus on ESR because just of the speed at which he tried to play at and the pace he tried to play at. And I know a lot of people find our way of playing boring. I'm not saying it's exciting. I think it would be a lot. I think it would be a lot more fun and exciting as if we played quicker. And that's something that ESR brings to the table. That's something that Saka brings to the table. Is they want to play quick. They want to play fast. They don't want to do this, as Stan says, the horseshoe despair. They don't want that. They don't want that smoke. They just want to be quick, boom, bing, bang, boom. And I don't know why maybe Arteta doesn't trust the players yet, because when you play quick, you make more mistakes. And seeing as how we're a team that likes to play 5-6 in attack, we lose that ball. Forrest is off on the counter. Now, granted, we Gibbs White didn't do shit, and that was the one player I was worried about on their team. Another player I was worried about didn't even start, Alanga, but he's coming back from injury. They could have maybe countered us, but I don't know. I think when you're playing slower, it's a little harder, because that's another thing too that people don't talk about. And I say I watch hockey, but they were blocking a lot of our shots. It's not like we weren't taking shots. It's not like we weren't getting chances. We were. They were sliding all around the pitch. They were sliding all around the 18, and they were blocking everything. So they were playing well. They were knowing where to go. They were knowing where to be. They were blocking everything they could. So, but yeah, I just think we need to play quicker against these low block teams. Not Liverpool and the teams that are going to come at us. Yeah, maybe this might be better just to open up the passing lanes, the lanes that we could just dribble through. But a team like Forest, you got to just run at them and just instead of slow paper clips to the stomach, you got to just quick stabs to the face. I actually looked at him. She's just stabbing the face, quick, boom, 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 and just dude, play don't know what hit him. And I think Arteta respected Forest's counter too much.
The thing for me on this is, I mean, we see what we are capable of on the counter, and it's hard because how do you as a team that is so good like we are, how do you then not play? I feel like teams that play on the counter are teams like Nottingham Forest. Go ahead, Glenn.
I just wanted to say a stat and then I'll shut up. Forest, I heard this during the game. I know I heard it because it was before I was high. They said that Forest has scored the most goals on the counter in the Premier League. So we had to be wary of that. I didn't know that.
It's Alanga, well, mainly because of Alanga, but I mean, Gibbs White's good.
It's hard for the better teams in the league to play on the counter because you're so good that you just naturally are going to dominate possession. We want to dominate possession. That's the style of play that we want in a match. So playing
I think
on
it's
the
more
counter
sustainable. We're not going to win Champions League. We're not going to win Premier League with our squad playing on the counter. It's not going to happen. And I think that's kind of why. And I'm not saying like you're wrong. I just think people who think that like, oh, we should play counter football. We're not gonna win trophies playing.
I don't think we should, but I also don't think we can. I don't think it's a sustainable style of play for this squad. The thing I'll say is this: I don't think it's. Again, my point is to play counterattacking football. You don't possess the ball. You have to win the ball and hit on the counter. And it's, you know what I mean? That's so the teams in the bottom half of the table, I feel like, are teams that should be doing that. Teams at the upper half of the table, us, City, Liverpool, we're going to dominate possession. And that's how we're going to beat teams. I guess for me, I would start to look at, is there a way to almost incorporate the counter-attacking philosophy or mentality into the possession-based game? And I guess the point is, maybe to try to simplify it, would be just move faster. Just be faster and stop turning around and looking for the player behind you.
Well, don't blame the players. It's obviously Arteta setting the pace. That's all I got to say there. He said he sets the pace.
Well,
so.
and to Ryan's point about ESR, to kind of bring it back full circle to what started this, is every time ESR was on the ball, he was going forward. On the ball, he's going into space. He's going forward. He's going at goal. Everybody else got the ball and it's like they'd go 5 steps forward and then they'd stop. And they'd turn around and look like, hey guys, come on, I'll wait for you to catch up. Come on, everybody. There was a moment in the first half where we had a 4-on-3 break. Odegaard had the ball and he stopped. We had them and he stopped. And then you just see a wave of red shirts get behind him. And it's like, what are you doing? Why would you not keep going? This is, I mean, in basketball, okay, you get on a fast break. But if you're in the lead or you don't have an angle, if you're not, it's not going to work the way you want it to do, you pull it back out and you reset.
Can I say something else?
It's not, hold the thought. It's the field is too big to stop and reset and let the defense get behind you and set themselves up in that low block again. I'm just like, what are you doing? So when we get the ball, the point to me is get into space, create some time for yourself, get into space, but go forward, always forward, always. Glenn, go.
Well, The thing that gets me, I try to learn a little bit more about Arteta over the last few weeks because, as I said a few days ago, I've been so wrong about so many things Arteta's done. I've literally apologized to Arteta more than my wife. Okay, so I'm trying to understand him a little bit better, and he said the darndest thing, and I don't know if you guys heard this a long time ago. Please forgive me. I just heard it a few days ago, where Arteta said it's his job to get the team to the final third, and then their creativity to finish it off. I never knew that was part of his philosophy. Sometimes we're so overly intricate inside the box, it makes me insane. But yeah, that's it. It just struck me. And please don't say, "Oh, Glenn, you said that last year or whatever." I just fucking heard it. Okay, a couple days ago.
I mean, yeah, I think the buildup to the 18-yard box is fine. There's nothing wrong with it other than the speed at which we go, the pace at which we go. And too often I see players with 20 yards in front of them, nothing but green grass, and they won't take it. And I don't understand why. And I if that's a Mikel Arteta thing, it's not going to end well for him here. I can tell you that. This isn't an entertainment value. I want to win.
Well,
I want to win.
I understand what you're saying, BG, but just let me say one other thing. Arteta wasn't the first to say that. Pep was. So apple tree.
Go figure. Right. It just, City can do this because they have the world-class players to do it. They have two players who can just take over and dominate a game. And I've said this before, we don't have that player. So to play this style, we're not there yet. This squad isn't finished, isn't done being built.
Can I ask you, can I just ask you, if each squad was 100% healthy, you still give the edge to City?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
I look at it. I said at the beginning of the year, on paper, we are a talented enough team to win the league. We might be the best team in the league. Seeing what Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland can do, and I guess maybe I just wasn't giving them credit at the beginning of the season, so consider this a little bit of a backtrack. I think they have the overall, top to bottom. I think I'm going to stick to my guns. I think top to bottom we're a better side than they are, but the difference being, I think they have more at the top end of their squad than we do. I mean, Erling Haaland or Gabriel Jesus? Who are we taking? That's a no-brainer. There's no one in the world that you would take over Erling Haaland. No one. There's not a player that is better than him in the world at what he does. Kevin De Bruyne or Martin Odegaard. Who are you taking? Fully healthy. You're going to take Kevin De Bruyne. Now, from there, the debate ensues, right? From there, the debate ensues. But they have those two players who are world-class, who can take over a game on their own, and we just don't have that right now. Overall squad, I think we're better, but their best two players are better than any of our best two players. I don't. If you think William Saliba is one of the two best players on this team, Kevin De Bruyne is better at what he does, and Erling Haaland is better at what he does, and William Saliba is at what he does. Period. We need that world-class player that can just. Erling Haaland can create on the ground. He can create in the air. He can create from nothing. Kevin De Bruyne can create from nothing. We don't have those players. So this possession-based style against a low block that they may as well have sat on the 6-yard box. I mean, I don't, Ryan, you said about the blocking of shots and everything else, and that's, yeah, but when you let the defense get behind you or get in front of you, between you and goal, yeah, what are you going to do? I mean, there are no lanes, So then it becomes creativity, and we just don't have enough of it. So,
can I just say, because I want to be positive because I've been very negative. Jesus, we all realize he might not be the goal scorer we were hoping he would be, but we're not getting anybody here in January's over, and he stepped it up last game. And I'm feeling pretty good. I'm a little worried with Jesus and Nketiah. It's like a little balance, but I think we have enough to win the Premier League title, and I think Jesus is going to step it up for us. He looked like he was a man on a mission, despite hitting the post.
In the second half, absolutely. Ryan, I don't know if you saw this. Somebody, and again, it was one of the. There are like 5 accounts I follow on Twitter, X, whatever we call it now, that typically tend to put out some good breakdowns. It might have been LeGrove, it might have been LT Arsenal. I don't remember who it was. But it was the build up to Jesus hitting the post. And it said something along the lines of like that build up of play and leading up to that moment. That's exactly what Arteta wants to do. That's exactly what this team should be trying to do. The only problem is Jesus hitting the post. So it's that close, literal inches away from being the perfect Arsenal goal. Did you see that at all? The tweet?
I didn't see the tweet, but I texted you that. I said that's what we need
really?
to do every game.
That?
I said something like that, or maybe I didn't text you that. I texted somebody that. Yeah, I mean that's what happens when you play with a little bit of pace and you play with a little bit of bravery, and that's why I am a fan of ESR. That's why I'm a fan of Reece Nelson, because they play like that. I'm a fan of Jesus too because he does that. Back to what Glenn was saying, he stepped it up. But I also, I think Gabriel Jesus is more of a winger. I don't think he's a striker for us. I think he's a striker for us because he best suits what Arteta wants us to do. But I think to get the best out of Gabriel Jesus, I think he should play on the wing. But I mean, that's here nor there. I don't really think we're going to really see him start the wing. I mean, maybe he'll rotate there and swap with Martinelli, Trossard. But yeah, I to me, it's just all about knowing when to step it up a notch, when going to step it up a gear. And I'll give ESR credit. He got the ball, and the one thing I'll correct you on, he ran forward at all times, but he did pass it back a lot, and a lot of side-to-side passes. I think his job, because I don't think Forrest prepared for ESR to start. I think ESR's job was to get the ball, find a secure ball handler, whether it be Odegaard, Saliba, Declan Rice, even Martinelli, Jesus sometimes, and run into a gap, run into space, and see how the Forest players react. See if a center back comes for him, a fullback comes to him, a midfielder backs up. I think ESR's main job was to almost be like a Tasmanian devil to the low block and kind of disrupt as many attacking lanes as possible and disrupt any passing lanes so we could kind of go for it. Problem is they didn't really bite. ESR would run to space and he would just look around and be like, okay, these guys didn't really move. So what do I do now? And then I think also then that also in turn was us being like, okay, like let's slow down. ESR didn't really scare them, didn't really do anything to them. So and it's credit to Forrest. And like Glenn said, and I guess I give ESR credit here is this is the lowest block we faced. Forrest played so far back. So they were worried. They were worried we're gonna do something crazy, which I mean, we have it in our locker. I mean, we've done it. I mean, do we do it enough? Probably not. But I mean, at the end of the day, I want us to get 3 points. And these conversations are awesome to have, and I like shooting the shit back and forth, arguing over this or that. But Arteta is happy with us winning 1-0. Arteta is happy with us just being slow, methodical, lulling them to sleep, just possession, making their head hurt, getting them frustrated, and then when the time is right, just score that one goal, and that's it. And I don't hate it. I don't hate the plan because when you have 90% possession, I'm not saying it's a guaranteed win. I'm not saying you deserve extra points. But if you have 90% possession, let's just, for an argument, if you have 90% possession in every game you play, you're going to be top of the team. You're going to be a top half of the team. You're going to be a top 5 team. You're going to be a top 4 team. It's just the nature of the game, the laws of the game. Now, are you going to win every game? No. Obviously, as we've seen, we've dominated possession against teams like West Ham, Southampton last season, and we lose, we draw. So it's definitely a more safer approach, but I don't hate it because it's gotten us to where we are now. Is it boring? Sometimes, but when you inject certain players into the 11 like ESR, Reece Nelson, or Jesus having a really good game, Saka, I thought again. I go back to Saka. Saka was another person that was just
He looked
saw
fresh.
this. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's the best way to put it. He looked fresh. He was running at Forest every chance he got. Problem
Ben
is, we
White,
did.
Ben White too. Ben White
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
very fresh.
And another issue too is we also played on the left side of the field a little bit more, same as we did last game. So Saka didn't get as many chances as he did, but that also enabled to when he did get those chances, he was running at them and he gave Forrest fits.
Yeah. Yeah, Glenn, anything to add on Bukayo Saka or Ben White?
No, I liked everything I heard for once from Ryan.
For
the
once?
only I'm kidding, dude. It's nice to get along with you once in a while. Yeah, I just it's like we all nitpicking our win at Forest, but now my attention is what's Arteta going to do about Liverpool picking on Zinchenko, this weekend. That's what I'm worried about now.
All right, so I guess cat's out of the bag on Zinchenko since Stan brought it up. We'll get to previewing Liverpool here in a minute. I put out a tweet about Zinchenko. Just play Zinchenko in the left 8. He drifts into the midfield as it is already. So why not start? Why not give him a shot there and see what happens? Now I know he does not play that far forward, particularly. Now he does. He does. I mean, I saw him in front of ESR at times against Forest. So it's everybody's that's a crazy thought. That's a crazy thought. Or well, who plays at left back and this and that? Well, you put Thomas Partey at right back for crying out loud. I don't want to say give Kiwior a chance, but boy, Tomiyasu comes back from the Asia Cup and he's fit. Why not? Tomiyasu at left back, Ben White at right back. This is almost the best of both worlds now, or the best of all worlds. Throw Zinchenko in the middle. And don't worry about him defensively. In possession, he's great. He is a liability defensively. And we've seen it not once, not twice, multiple times this season. He has cost us a goal. And everybody said, oh, well, what about the guy? It starts there. It starts there. Now we're asking players to bail him out.
Well, the reason he's here is because he does that inverting that Arsenal love. The one goal against Forest, he took heat for it, but it really wasn't his fault. And I don't like his defense. I don't know what to tell you. It's like, yeah, I'd say, if Tomiyasu was healthy, maybe put him out there because he can play out there and White at right back. But then we're not as good offensively. Zinchenko's a fucking whiz offensively. It's his defense I worry about, and you know it. I know it. Everybody watching this knows it. Everybody who's not watching this knows it. They're going to pick on Zinchenko this weekend.
I don't think Salah's playing Sunday. Am I correct in that?
I don't know.
Ryan?
No, as far as I know. Unless there's a miracle recovery, he's not playing.
That's what, yeah. The thing was okay. I hear what you're saying, Glenn. It takes away from the attack, but there is the defensive side of things as well, and we are really good. I think defensively, he's a liability. I think we could be a lot better, and I'm okay with seeing him at left 8 and let Declan Rice play in the 6. If there's no Thomas Partey, I don't really want to drop ESR. I'll say this. When Zinchenko has the ball, he's going forward. For the most part, when Zinchenko has the ball, he's going forward. He's just not as advanced as ESR or Kai Havertz, whoever's playing in that left 8 role. He can get that advanced, but more often than not, he doesn't. So, I mean, Arteta is effectively playing with 5 in the midfield and 2 at the back when we're in possession. It's basically Saliba and Gabriel at the back. Ben White gets so far forward, he's practically a wide midfielder. and Zinchenko is so far forward that and inside that he's a midfielder as well.
ESR does everything I love that a young Arsenal player does. The rumor about him going to West Ham, he's like, fuck that, I'm staying here. He gets his chance to play, to start finally, and he takes advantage of it and has a fucking good game. He deserves to start. Bring Havertz off the bench. He earned that start against Liverpool. Give it to the kid, Mr. Arteta.
Ryan?
Yeah, I don't really know how to start. With ESR,
We'll
yeah,
start with his. Do you start ESR on Sunday against Liverpool, or do you start Havertz? Because I don't think Thomas Partey is going to be back and fit.
No, he comes off the bench, even if he's fit.
I wouldn't start Partey either. Honestly, it's tough because I think ESR was able to do what he did because of the Forest low block. But he played well. He didn't put a foot wrong. And into my head, if you told me judging ESR's performance, his 70-minute start against Forest, would I start him or Havertz? I would start Havertz. But just because of how much success Havertz had coming on and how different we looked and how better we looked. I don't want to say better. It just gave Forrest like another thing to think about, and I think Havertz just offers very different things in ESR. He's very similar to ESR, but then he offers very different things in ESR.
Can I ask a question, Ryan? Can I ask you a question? Because I'm trying to remember and I can't remember. Did Havertz come on after we got the first goal? Because then things would have been opened up a little bit more for him to be creative.
Yeah.
Havertz come on after we got both goals.
Okay, okay.
No, he was on for the
I just, like you said, ESR was facing that low block. But when Havertz came in, we had a lead and Forrest had to come forward. So he had more chances. ESR would have split them in two if they played that way at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I value both players very highly. I value Kai. I think Kai offers something that people just don't see still yet.
I love him. I love Havertz.
And I obviously always have a soft spot for ESR. I don't want to sound biased, but at the end of the day, I think I've seen more from Havertz, and I think Liverpool's going to be coming at us more, and I trust Havertz more defensively. But say my heart and my head are saying different things. My head's saying Havertz, my heart's saying ESR, because it would be a great start for ESR. And I no doubt that I think if ESR does start, he's going to have a good game and he's going to play well. So yeah, it's tough. But my head I'd probably say
Havertz. The Zinchenko thing. What's your?
Okay. Well, I think this is just something that me and you are just never going to agree on. I don't think Zinchenko is as bad defensively as people are making him out to be. Is he good? No, I'm not saying he's a great defender. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not. I think we value him at fullback because of his long range of passing, because of his lateral movement, his ability to just run around and be everywhere. He has that stamina. He has a cardio in him. So I understand why he plays left back. I don't think he was at fault for the Forest goal. Could he have done better? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if he was taller and more physical, maybe he could have fouled him. I don't know. But I think he offers us so much more in the attack that I'm not worried about his defense. And if we're having the ball 80% of the time, for argument, let's just say 70%. I'm curious actually what our average possession is. I can probably look that up, but I'm talking. Can't do two things at once, like Glenn says. But we have the ball the majority of games, so why should and our defensive record is a lot better this season than it was last season. So why should I care of adding Tomiyasu or maybe putting Ben White a little further back? I want us to be and that's also a thing too. Like, what are we lacking right now? We're lacking attack. We're lacking goals. I think Zinchenko adds to that. He helps that. So I'm always going to choose attack over defense with this team right now, given what we're doing. The statement that I had that I was like flabbergasted. I didn't understand it. I think it's a wild statement made by you. Was saying how his attack is as wait, I forget how you worded it, but you essentially said
he's
as good at his
basically
attack.
as
Well,
good
yeah,
as
you
he
could
is in
say it.
attack, he's equally as horrible defensively.
Yeah, could not disagree more. I again, I don't think he's amazing defensively. I'm not saying he's the best
You just
fullback
don't
in the
think
world
he's that.
defensively.
You just don't think he's
but
as
I
bad
think he
defensively as
offers
he
so
is
much more in attack. Like it messed over his defensive.
Well, okay. So let me ask you
know.
this then. So let me ask you this: do you think that he would be better in the left 8 role than
No.
the current
Well,
options?
Would he be better, or would the team be better?
Would he be better? Oh, do you think he would? Is he?
Well, the team wouldn't be better.
Do you think he would
He
give
might
you
be.
more than ESR or Kai Havertz at the left 8?
I know. I don't think so.
Now, I'll throw this caveat out there as well. Imagine you throw him in the left 8 and you say, now your defensive responsibilities, you don't have those. Because I also think that plays a role in things. We're better
I don't
in
think he's
attack
that bad defensively, so I don't care. I think Arteta has almost gave me instruction. Like, obviously he's a fullback. Obviously he's like lined up in a back four. I don't think Arteta really has him like with a shitload of defensive responsibility throughout the game anyway. Especially when you're having the ball 80% of the time. Yeah, okay, there's some games where we have it 60. But
here's the thing. If you're not going to have the ball 100% of the time, we concede. At the end of the day, we give up goals, and they're coming from his side. They're coming from that left side.
I mean, now, yeah, because they're going that side. But yeah,
whether we but I'm saying these goals are coming from they're being created from his side of the field. They're not happening on Ben White's side. Ben White is getting more advanced than Zinchenko is. Now, Ben White is also not possessing the ball the way that Zinchenko does. He's not.
He also, to be fair to Ben White, he has Declan Rice on his side. We had ESR on that. Oh no, at that time we had Kai Havertz on that side.
I mean,
and Kai Havertz was all the way up the pitch. So
I would like to see that if we're gonna, you know,
and you gotta realize too, teams are going to pick us not because it's Zinchenko, not because he's the weaker of him and Ben White, because he's inverted. It's because Zinchenko's
because he's out of position.
Priorities. No, well, I mean, looking at a 4-2, whatever the fuck our lineup is, yeah. But to Arteta, he's not out of position. I think laundry list of jobs. I think if you ask Arteta, should Zinchenko worry about his attack or his defense more? Arteta's going to say attack. I mean, that's what I mean. If he didn't say that, then he wouldn't be playing. Tomiyasu would be playing. But Tomiyasu's away on the H Cup. But I think Zinchenko gets a lot of minutes because he wants to be in the midfield. He wants to have a more attacking role. Just because on the team sheet it says he's a left back, just because you look at all the Sophia score, Fat Mob, and all that, and it shows him at left back, doesn't mean that's where he is and where he's supposed to be. You know, I think to an extent, I think Arteta is just revolutionizing the game in the fact that it's not just, just because it says left back on your thing doesn't mean you're playing left back. You're a peg on a whiteboard. Like I don't value that, especially the way Arteta plays. And Glenn's about to do his nails, it looks like.
No, it's all his weed stuff. Yeah, Glenn, you're muted.
I said blush. Doesn't it look like blush?
Glenn, you're muted.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't want me sighing. All right, say this is our back four, right? This is our back four. All right, and this is Zinchenko. Okay, I know it's on the wrong side, but fuck you. When Zinchenko does his inverting thing, I think Arteta is going to have somebody coming back in to help give him some cover. So I think that's how we're going to deal with Liverpool picking, on us down that side. It's the only thing I can think of. So who's going to be that DM that gives Zinchenko cover to do his inverted thing?
I think just Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel will just be a little more spread out. I mean, is that the ideal? No. I think it's just credit more to Saliba and Gabriel how good they are. Because we're conceding a goal, but also it's tough because I get what you're saying, like, oh, we're conceding, but we're also like, again, defensive record aside, we're better this season than we were last season. Our XG against, I think, is what, second to City, maybe it's even first, I don't know. But yet, I think the only team that's given up less goals than us is Liverpool, and Liverpool is just they're on a tear, they're on a crazy streak. I'm hoping, the stats kind of back up that they're just going to dip soon. Not dip, but like dip to the point where they're starting to let goals in, and we're going to get more clean sheets, or they're going to drop some points. I guess at the end of the day, in a way I'm almost speaking for Arteta. I don't value the left back position like you guys do. The left back position is just it's a fucking magic marker on a whiteboard. It's a name on a team sheet. I don't think we necessarily need the left back to operate like a natural left back just because of how much we have possession, how much we have an attack, and what Zinchenko offers. Now, I'm not saying that every game. There are games where we're going to need Tomiyasu, and he's going to play, and he's going to be a factor. And that's where the plan B comes in. That's where we're able to kind of give teams different faces and give them different obstacles to climb. Because you're right, we're not going to have, the ball 100% of the time.
But I guess to my point, if we're when we don't have possession and we're conceding from that side.
So you're saying you're blaming Tomiyasu for that? Excuse me. You're blaming Zinchenko for that goal.
I mean, I don't ever blame any one person unless it's blatantly obvious, like Jesus' goal against Matt Turner.
Saliba is a defensive god to me, but I think it was his fault.
I think Saliba could have done more, and I think Zinchenko could have done more. But I think
I think he's a fucking specimen. Have you seen? He's got for anyone that doesn't watch American football or hasn't watched it, Takeo Spikes. He's got the same neck. The neck is just he doesn't have a neck. His neck. He's got a fat neck.
There is no neck. It's just shoulders.
And I tweeted this too, and I mean this because he also has I think he scored either he scored in the last 3 games against us, or he has 3 goals in the last 2 games against us. I think he did score breaks against us earlier in the season, but he is a physical specimen. He is the kind of striker that we need at Arsenal if we want to kind of do things. He pushed Saliba aside like it was nothing. And, if it was Gabriel, maybe it would have been a different contest. But we need that. We need a guy that's going to, Jesus may fight in the trenches, get dirty, and with his touching, and he gets his foot stuck in. That's different than what they did for their goal. He out-physicaled our center back, got the ball, had a nice shot on net. And that's something that I value a little more. Because center backs are known to be more physical type players, so I think you kind of need a physical striker that's going to kind of compete with them a little bit, and he did that. And I don't really know what Zinchenko really could have done. I mean, Saliba, just don't get bullied. Credit to them.
You know what it is for me? It's play recognition. It's recognizing that okay, we're no longer in possession. I have to get back now, and he doesn't do that. That's the biggest thing to me is that if you're gonna do this, and I don't hate it, but if you're going to do this, he has to still play responsibly. He has to play responsible defense. You're gonna get forward. It's like this. It's like teaching a group of 13-year-olds. You all want to kick the ball. You all want to get up there. If you're gonna do that, and you don't have the ball, you've got to bust your ass to get back there. And he doesn't do that. I don't know why he doesn't do it, but he doesn't do it. And he gets caught out of position. His biggest thing is he gets caught out of position. And in trying and say what you want, I'm going to use Jorginho as the example here. They're the same player out of possession. Zinchenko's not athletic enough to recover. And he does the same thing that Jorginho does in trying to get forward and trying to stick a foot in and win the ball. And he doesn't, and then he's fucked.
I think I don't really agree with that entirely. I think he's way more athletic than Jorginho ever was. I think Jorginho, it's funny you said, because I noticed it the last time I think Jorginho started. Him and Zinchenko are the same player, except Jorginho is I don't know. He's more of like I don't want to say a bully, but he's willing to take that foul. He's willing to really rough you up. Whereas Zinchenko is trying to technically outclass you.
Right.
Listen, and this is gonna. I don't know. I don't.
The thing with both of them is this.
Agree. I think Zinchenko runs more on that pitch than almost anybody.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm not saying that he doesn't. But
well,
he's not.
Saying he doesn't like to run back. I mean, if he's running over the pitch,
I'm saying he can. No, I'm not saying he doesn't like to. I'm saying he can't. He's not quick enough.
But that's not his fault. I don't.
So, you're right. It's not. You're only as fast as you are. Like it's not something that you can teach. You don't teach. You don't.
Slow.
You can't coach someone to be faster.
To run slow. Faster. I don't buy that. I think he's just
he gets caught so far out of position that it's impossible for him to recover.
But again, it goes back to what we're saying. You're saying it's out of position. No, but with Arteta, he might not have been out of position.
He's not. Here's the thing. To do what Arteta's asking him,
it might have been someone else's job to cover the guy that's everyone thinks is supposed to be his. We don't play defense like any other team. We don't. And I don't think we ever will.
That. And I don't.
So, but you're saying he's out of position. I don't agree with that. I don't think he's necessarily out of position. If you ask Arteta, is he out of position? I bet you he won't. I mean, maybe to an extent, but I don't think he's out of position like you're saying he's out of position.
I agree with you. I agree that he's not out of position based on what Arteta wants him to do. Here's the caveat. He's where Arteta wants him to be, but when he has to recover, he can't. He doesn't have the pace to recover. I agree with the positioning thing. What I'm saying is I don't think he recognizes plays. I don't think he recognizes play very well when we lose possession. And he's suspect defensively. He is more worried about the attack. And if this is what Arteta wants him to do, then that back three need to rotate over to cover for him. It's just, I mean, we're seeing it game in and game out at this point.
I get it. We're second place in the league, so I don't think Arteta cares that much about it, or else he would be playing if you're just in a left back. I get what you're saying. We are seeing it week in, week out, but where are we? Are we fighting relegation? Are we 10th? Are we 9th?
But we shouldn't. But we shouldn't be conceding these goals. We should not be conceding these goals. We just shouldn't. This is saying I'm okay with conceding a goal or two in a game.
If we're
dominating, if we have 90% possession, I'm okay with conceding 2 goals. But what if we don't score? And that's where we were for 2 months.
To score. Yeah, but we are. But see, your argument doesn't make sense because we are scoring. We are winning. We won. We won the game. We won
the last 2 games. For 2 months. For 2 months, we were dominating possession and we were losing.
We're second in the league. Or third. I don't even know what game.
Well, City jumped us yesterday, but
whatever.
I get it. I get it. It's. And look, Glenn, jump in here, please, at any point. And well, I mean, I want Glenn to jump in because now, like, we are being really negative. We are third in the table, and you make all of your points are great points. It's hard to argue. I look at it and I say to myself, I don't know that there's an upgrade on Zinchenko in attack, in possession. I don't know that there's an upgrade there.
Yeah,
there's certainly an upgrade defensively.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And so what's if we're good enough defensively, and it's so weird to say that because I feel like we are. We're one of the best defensive teams. You said second in terms of goals allowed, second best in the league. But if we can not concede those goals, concede the possession, concede the shot, but somehow, not even a shot on target, just concede the attempt, but block the shot. It's a bad angle, whatever the case may be. Make a save, whatever the case may be. Don't concede the goal, then this is all moot, right? But we are conceding those goals, and eventually it's going. It already has bitten us 3 times by my count.
We're still,
and we're still third. But you know where we aren't? First, and we could be.
That's not. I don't blame the defense. You can't blame. But that okay? Then what? Why aren't we? Because we're letting in goals? No, it's because we're not scoring them.
But you just said we are scoring. So
no, I didn't say
no.
that.
I'm messing with you. I'm starting.
I was like, yeah, we're definitely not scoring. That is a big issue, and that's why I think even more so why Arteta's like, all right, well, we're not scoring, so we got to kind of push Zinchenko up a little more. We need to make him think more attack minded, and you know what? Leave that hole. And this is gonna be. I'm gonna talk in 2 seconds. And this is gonna sound corny as hell too, but in almost a way, I almost like it because at least we know how teams are gonna attack us. Whereas teams might go to the right, they might go to the left, they go to the middle. But if they go, oh, Zinchenko is never in his position, let's go down the right every time. All right, cool. We know exactly where the team's coming. You know, when you're at war, it's like, oh, the British are coming. Yeah, we know exactly where they're coming from because we left that fucking wide open hole for them to run through. And yeah, very American of me to say the British,
Glenn,
but
you just said wide open hole.
Yeah, what? That's way too easy. Okay.
But yeah, I get what you're saying, but like, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but like the argument doesn't hold water if we're second in goals conceded, and the only team that's in front of us is 2 goals. It's Liverpool by 2 goals, and like I said, I think they're catching breaks or getting lucky. I didn't watch the Chelsea game, but I heard they should have gotten. They should have gotten 2. Chelsea should have gotten 2 penalties. So that's the 2 goals right there.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard. I don't know. I didn't watch the game. I didn't see anything. I just heard there was some interesting calls made for Liverpool. I don't know. But,
Ryan, I was right there with you till the end, where I thought you were a little harsh with BG in his opinion. Hold on. I don't know why you guys are texting me when we're on the show. Okay, so the only thing I take umbrage with is that you took his opinion of how he feels about the team and kind of dismissed it. You can't. The one thing I have learned.
What do you mean I dismissed it?
Saying that his argument is not. I don't remember your exact wording, but you had a problem with his argument, and it was just his opinion. I don't try to tell anybody how to feel. All I can do is tell you how I feel and why I think that maybe you should be a little happier. But that's just me. We're all different. That's what makes this fucking internet so much fun. So here's the deal, okay? I disagree with BG saying Arteta's just like, well, we're probably going to give up a goal with Zinchenko there. No, Arteta's a stubborn son of a bitch. Sometimes it's to his benefit, sometimes it's not. Right now, he's not sitting there saying, I'm just giving up a goal because Zinchenko's our best offense and he gives me the offense I want. No, he's going to figure out a way so the teams can't pick on him anymore. Arteta will fucking try to figure out a way. As far as the rest of the season goes, I like where we are in the table. Yeah, I'm like, there's a small part of me that has the BG voice of, we could be 3, 4, 5 points higher right now. But I shove that voice down because there's more good to feel, and that's the way I choose to do it. But if someone is not feeling good, they have reason to not feel good, and you can't tell them how to feel. You can only tell them why you feel good, and perhaps they'll listen.
It's more I'm not unhappy with where we are, but it's hard not to look at things and say we could actually be top of the league by 3 points right now. We could be top of the league by 5. We would actually flip-flop with Liverpool. We'd have a few more points than what they do right now.
You should follow your own advice. I love this saying that you do. You do it all the time, and I love it. It's adopted into my vocabulary. Enjoy the ride, BG. We're battling for the Premier League title. We got a big game this weekend.
If I enjoy the ride, we don't do this show. We can't come on here and just blow sunshine and fairy dust up everybody.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I know. It's nitpicky. It's nitpicky, and I think and look, I think Ryan, you'll agree with this. It's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's fine, Glenn. I think it's a good problem to have. I mean, we're talking about a player that really can transform what we do. We just need to figure out that cover on the left side because thank God Liverpool. I don't even know who's going to start for Salah on Sunday if he doesn't go. I don't know their team that well.
Maybe Diaz. What was it? Diaz, Nunez, and
Could Jota start over there? I mean, he plays.
No, who started for them? Hold on, let me look it up. I just had it. Oh, Jota did start for them, but I don't think. I mean, Jota Nunez Diaz. It might be Jota. Jota loves playing us.
Yeah,
but I thought it would be someone else. Yeah, Nunez, Jota Diaz. I mean, I don't know who would be on that side, but yeah,
well,
I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, like you're worried about us finding cover. I'm not worried because again, we've only conceded. Only one team has conceded less goals than us, so it's like I'm not worried about it.
But the goals that I guess this is my point. The goals that we're conceding are leading to us dropping points.
But who's to say the goals we're scoring?
Well, the goals we aren't
isn't
scoring.
helping.
The goals that we aren't scoring are contributing.
And I guess this is just a stupid argument because we are scoring. I mean, yeah, we should be scoring 100%. We should be scoring more. But we are scoring because we're third in the table for a reason. We are winning games. So it's like, yeah, do you now help yourself out defensively and take from the attack? Well, no. Our defense is apparently second in the league. So why would we sacrifice attack, which we need, and add more to our defense for cover for Zinchenko? I don't see if we were conceding goals and we were drawing games 4-4 or losing 4-3, or I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're right. Put Tomiyasu in, or we need a left back, but we're not. Like, yeah, we dropped a few points. We had a shitty stretch of three games. I get that, it sucks, but like we're third in the league, and we're second in goals conceded.
I just don't want to look. I just when the season is over, I don't want to look.
Oh, you don't
back
look back and go those goals. Yeah.
That's the thing. And you look back on it and you say, well, I mean, and look, every 19 teams are going to do this, right? 19 teams are going to look back and go,
butterfly effect.
Well, right. But 19 other teams are going to look back at the season and go, if this, then that. So it's one of those things like it's like if you play blackjack, everybody tells you, nuanced blackjack players tell you whatever you do, just be consistent. Just do the same thing all the time. You can't ever second guess your decision. And that's a problem for me. One of my flaws is I constantly second guess. Constantly. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, if this, then that. And that's just I think it's human nature a little bit too. I think we all, in one way, shape, or form, in some aspect of our lives, we all second guess something. If this, then that. What if? And look, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a wonderful Christmas, right? Let's get to Ryan. You never really did answer the ESR question starting for Liverpool.
No, I did.
Head and heart.
Head Havertz.
Heart ESR.
No. Oh yeah, heart. Sorry.
Glenn, do you start ESR? You said
I do start ESR. And by the way, I only have like 2 or 3 minutes. I do start ESR. I will be slightly disappointed if he doesn't start, but he better come off the bench.
Well, let's maximize the 3 minutes. So let's hit transfer news real quick because Ryan, go through it. Give me the moves. Terminated Runarson's contract.
Okay, let's see. Runarsson. Cedric didn't leave. We were supposed to send him to
they gave us an extra day for Cedric, so that still might happen.
No, they signed somebody. Cedric's not going anywhere. I think Chris Wheatley already also said that he's gonna stay and let his contract run out, which and we fumbled the bag with him from jump, and we knew that. So like I'm not upset about it. Like it's a thing where it's like I'm not upset. I would have been very happy if we sold him in January, but we didn't. So I'm like, yeah, 100,000 a week in wages. Like, what do you expect? It didn't get completed yet, but Zane Monolos looks like he's going to be on loan to Reading. He's the center back for our academy team. He's essentially a Gabrielish type player. He's a big dude. He's good. I don't know if he's going to make it here, but it's a guy who definitely needs minutes to up his value for sure.
Well, they immediately sent him out on loan, didn't they? I thought they did.
Who? We talking about?
The Sousa guy you're talking about? I don't even know how to say it.
No. Zay Monolos, different guy.
Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry.
And to Glenn, left back for our academy, Leno Sosa, he went to Villa. So funny story. When we bought him from West Brom, West Brom was going to sell him to Villa, and I don't know who the coach at the time of West Brom was, but the coach of West Brom, all of his staff went to Villa, and he blocked it himself. The manager blocked him from going to Villa because he's spiteful. I don't know. There's probably more into that than I know, but so they sold him to us. Again, I don't think it's a real loss. We have a healthy sell-on clause. They paid it. I think the payment can go up to $12 million based on appearances and all that. For a guy who's never stepped foot in a meaningful game for us, great bit of business, I think. And the more important loan for me, I'm sure I missed a couple here and there, but I'm just going off the top of my head. Charles Sago Jr. Loaning out to Swansea City. He's probably one of the most talented players that we have right now in the academy. He's young too. He's 15, 16. I don't know. Very, very young. He's made the bench for us a few times in the academy. He started. What game did he start for us?
Where did he go on loan so I can keep an eye on him?
Swansea. He's playing with Patino, so that'll be fun. He's normally a right winger, but he can play the left. He's played the 10.
And 3, 2, 1. Glenn, you're muted.
He muted. He's probably talking to his wife. Anyways, yeah. So that's gonna be an interesting thing to see. Especially playing with Patino, who I love, and I think he's someone that, if Jorginho doesn't come back, or if he stays and he plays I guess a Cedric or an Elneny type of role, maybe he can coach Patino, because I think Patino can really make. I don't know if he can or can't make a difference for us, but I think he's played well enough at everywhere he's gone on loan to where I think he deserves a shot here. Will he make it here? I can't say that. I don't know, because I think we're trying to do bigger and better things. So I don't know, but nowadays it's going to be very, very hard for academy player to get in this team, because again we've upped the bar so much that only Bukayo Saka's ESRs are going to get into the squad. I don't know if Patino's there. I don't know if Sego Jr. is going to be there. So we're going to be losing a lot of academy players that people are not going to be happy with.
All right, well,
what?
Dude, I just wanted to say something because I have to go.
Go.
Swansea is going to be fun to watch now. I'm going to watch some of their games. I think it's on Paramount. No, ESPN Plus. That sounds like fun. Thank you, Ryan. That was really cool. I don't know if you guys know what the Irish goodbye is, but that's when you don't want to be somewhere like at a bar, and you make sure everyone sees you for a few minutes. Then you say you have to go to the bathroom,
and you dip out the back door.
Love you guys.
Oh, there we go.
There he goes.
But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. I think we should have loaned a lot more academy players out, but yeah, I mean, we're still, and people say, oh, I thought this was over, Cedric's is over, and people group Elneny into it, and it's not, though. We still have Cedric here. He's gone through the season. We're not quite there yet as far as I compare us almost to Chelsea, where Chelsea had a great. They still have a great academy, and they just loan everybody and their mother out. Yeah. We're not there yet. We still have a lot of fish to fry. We're almost there though, but yeah, Sargo Jr. is going to be interesting to watch him play for Swansea Patino. That's for sure.
Yeah. Disappointed that we didn't get anyone in. Surprised that we didn't bring anyone in.
No, not disappointed. I mean, I guess everyone always wants that new shiny toy, so I guess to an extent, but I don't know where we would have upgraded in January. I don't know what I would have wanted.
I said this.
I wish we just let more guys. I just wish we. I mean, obviously, I'm not upset Cedric is still here, but it would have been nice if we had gotten rid of Cedric. But no, I just wish we loaned. There's a few more players that I would have liked to have seen loaned out. But
yeah, I said a few years ago, and I asked you and a few other guys that we've done shows with, if you look at your squad and you say, I like the squad as it's currently constructed, and you go through a transfer window and you don't do anything. You loan out some academy players, and but guys that aren't affecting the first team. You don't do anything beyond that. No moves to the first team. Nobody out, nobody in. Are you okay with that? And everyone said no. You have to make the move in the transfer window. I said, why? And the nobody could tell me why. Nobody could. It was just because you have to make a move in the transfer window. But why? If you like your team, why do you have to make a move? If you don't sell someone, if you're not replacing an expiring contract, or if there are no expiring contracts to replace, and you like the team as it stands, why mess with it? I think we go big in the summer because there's apparently a lot of wages coming off the books in the summer.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go big first striker. That's what we're gonna do, and probably a center back, I would think.
Yeah,
Also, I forgot to mention really quick. We sold Miguel Aziz to Athletic something, a third tier Spanish team.
really?
That one hurt a little just because I thought he was going to be really good. I thought he was going to be the next party for us. Didn't quite pan out. I heard he has a really shitty at whatever. No, it's where he is now, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We sold him somewhere else, I think. I don't know. All I know is we sold him to some third tier Spanish team. He has a really bad attitude. I've seen multiple reports about his really bad attitude. Even another report that I think it was his father and his cousin, his father and his brother, or someone. It was his father and somebody. Maybe it was him and his father. I don't know. Squared up the Wigan manager at the time. I don't know who that was when he was on loan at Wigan. So, yeah, he's got a lot of issues with his attitude himself, and I think just the people around him. It kind of sucked because, like I said, I thought he was going to be a Thomas Partey type player for us. I really had high hopes for him. But yeah, he's gone to third tier Spain to, try to rejuvenate his career, which, yeah, I did
see it. Atletico Baleares or something.
Yeah, someone to be. Yeah.
So, wow, that's I didn't see that. But anyway, I don't know. Anything else on your mind? Any give me a final thought. We'll get out of here.
I mean, yeah, I know a lot of people were disappointed. A lot of people wanted to see a lot of movement, whereas like maybe the young players being transferred out, potentially coming into the first team, getting minutes, us potentially buying somebody. I think this was the way for us. I think I'm not upset about our transfer window. I think we have the team to win the Premier League, to win the Champions League. What we do with that's another story completely. But I'm excited for this Liverpool game because we gave it to them at Anfield, and I think now the scale is going to be tipped a little bit in our favor because they're coming to us now. We just need to put the ball in the back of the net. I don't know how we do it. We did it early against them at Anfield, but we gotta come out guns blazing, and we gotta find a solution and figure it out quick. And I think we can because they're not going to play as far back as Nottingham Forest.
No, absolutely not.
So it'll be very interesting to see how we go at them. It'll be interesting to see if ESR starts or if Havertz starts. For some reason, I feel like Havertz is going to start, but whatever. I'm going to be happy. I'm happy with either or. I want 3 points, and I think this is definitely, it's a lot out for them. I think this is definitely a time for us to take it.
Go at them, yeah. The only thing that really kind of sucks is the break. We get 5 days. That's good. They only get 4 because they played the day after. They played yesterday.
They played Chelsea, yeah.
So they played. They played Chelsea at home. Yeah. Should be a good one. Hopefully, it's a good one. And hopefully, we're back next week talking about another 3 points. Being 2 points off the pace behind them at that point. So that would be, reeling them in on goal difference as well. So hopefully we can fire 2 or 3, 4 past them and not concede anything. So thanks to the chat, Stan, Bronx Gunner, the Sasky Gooner was in there as well. Renette joining us as well as always. Thank you guys for being there. If you haven't already, drop a like on the show. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that either. And if you have, tell a friend, tell a coworker. If you don't have either one of those things, tell a family member. If you don't have that, you've got bigger problems than what I can help you with. That's it. We will be back. Rating show it will be coming up at some point, hopefully tonight. We'll see. Schedules may not allow for that, but we'll see. And then we'll be back. We'll be back next week to wrap up Liverpool and look ahead to West Ham. I believe. We've got West Ham after Liverpool.
Oh,
anyway. Yeah, we did. But anyway, yeah, we'll wrap up Liverpool from Sunday. We'll look ahead to the next match and probably argue a little bit more about and it's away.
Yeah.
So, a couple of big games coming up here. Liverpool at home, West Ham away. Need the points. That's what it's all about. So, as always, folks, it's been I was almost remiss in mentioning, if you watched the replay and you made it this far, thank you guys very much. Please drop a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell icon so you get the reminder that we are live. It's been good footy talk as always. We'll see you out there.